Hey, it's Adas. And now we're going to be talking about procrastination and how we can deconstruct the problem. And any problem that you have in life, the more you can see the bigger problem, and then you can backpedal to the smallest increment and then go forward, the better. All right, so deconstructing the problem incrementally is your best bet, always. So we have a case study here. It's a real person, a real case study. And she actually had been putting off calling the Social Security office. Now, she's somebody who has become a citizen of Israel and is still also a citizen of the United States. She needs to take care of things that are in the US, and she needs to take care of things that are here in Israel. Now, the things in Israel are so much more difficult for somebody that really doesn't know the language, doesn't know the bureaucracy, all right? And in America, being so far away with the time difference, that's a problem as well. So it's easy to procrastinate. So we sat down and we talked about what are the things that she needs to do? Like, what are the key things? And she told me, well, I need to call the Social Security office. And I need to download the Social Security documents. And the other thing I need to do, in addition to Social Security, that I've been putting off, is I need to call the doctor's office and make an appointment. I said, okay, so what's keeping you from these three things? And so she mentioned the fact that she was afraid. And we got to talking about, look at all of these things that came out of that discussion. One, they are not going to accept my paperwork. I'm afraid that once I get this all done, they're not even going to accept it. Then they are not going to. And she listed off a few more things, and we'll talk about some of those things in just a minute. Then she says, I'm not sure if these are the right documents. That means I need to call somebody. Then I'm afraid when it came to her health that her blood tests might show something negative. And then she's like, well, the appointment will be painful. And then we talked about going to the dentist. I mean, we started getting off into other fears, right? And that is having your teeth cleaned, there's the emotion, the painful process, and the fact that you think this isn't gonna work. It's too difficult, it's too expensive, I can't afford it. That's such a big one, all right? Then you have, I hate doing this. I don't have the skills, it takes so long. All those thoughts came out in that conversation. Now, once we got all that out on paper, we put it all out there, then we started to talk about solutions. So the first thing we did is I said, okay, what's the best scenario for you here? She said, well, the best scenario is they grant what I request. Like I'm asking for a certain amount in my Social Security, and the best is that I get it. And I said, all right, that's the best. What's a better solution? It's not the best, but what's a better one? And then she says, well, they tell me that they will send the instructions and that they're gonna look into my case. I go, okay. Now, and so we talked about these things and worked through these things together. Then she says, the worst, right? Well, we're sorry, but your claim has been rejected. Okay, so when it came to the Social Security, those are the top three. The worst possible that it gets rejected. The best, the better, and the better and the best, all right, had to do with, they'll look at my case or they accept it. Then we talked about medical things. And I said, well, what's gonna be the worst there? Or the best, or whatever. She goes, well, if they come back saying my cholesterol's too high because I already take this cholesterol medicine, that would be horrible. But I feel like I'm eating so poorly, blah, blah, blah. Then she said, well, if my blood tests show XYZ, that would be really bad. And I said, well, what would be the best? And she said, well, if my blood test is good. And she said, if my cholesterol has at least remained the same, if not gone down. I said, great. And then I said, what if we turn this into a game? And so here's the game, all right? Every time you email the Social Security office, or you make the phone call for the doctor's appointment. You call me, all right? And I put a check, like this little star on a piece of paper. And when you get up to 5 stars, I'm buying you coffee, all right? And then you've got a reward. And she did it. So I'm telling you, when you deconstruct the problem, you look at the actions you're not taking. What is it you need to do? You look at all the reasons, all the fears as to why you're not doing it. And then you look at what the outcomes are and you put it down. Best, better, worst. And then if you get a friend involved and you get them to come alongside of you, then that's a lot of fun, because they have just the same procrastination problems, maybe not the same issue, but they have a problem. They need a friend to help them get unstuck. So when you come together and then you make it a game and you make it with rewards and the whole thing, and you have fun, guess what? You are on the winning side. All right. So with that said, the next sheet is writing your story. Now, writing your story is going through the 3 steps that we just talked about. What is the problem? Why are you stuck? And what is the desired outcome? Now, we don't have best, better, or worst, all right? You need to write out the desired outcome. But you also can put down there what would be the worst outcome, what would be a better outcome, what would be the best outcome, all right? So write that down. And where you're stuck, all right, this is the areas that we want to talk about, that about fears. And what is the problem? That's the action you need to the actions you need to finish, right? These are the things you actually need to do. All right, so we want you to write your own story. We find that when you write out your own story, you actually create the story and you write it out, and I don't want to say be realistic, but just be mindful of a better, a best, and a worst outcome. You write your own story, you have something to share when it all comes to fruition, because it will. All right, so with that said, we have a few tips there that'll help you get unstuck, things that we've already talked about. Ask for help, break a major issue into smaller pieces, and write your story. And on that note, I hope this little mini series on procrastination has been helpful for you. I hope this guide is helpful for you. You can always just print out several of these, write your stories, and then just fill that in as we said. And you can put little parentheses next to why are you stuck? Fears, right? Desired outcome, best, better, worst. Put in parentheses. And what is your problem? What is the action you need to take? All right, it's been wonderful being with you, and let's overcome procrastination together. If you haven't downloaded the procrastination guide, download it now. And if you have not looked at, checked out, or bought the Blockit planner yet, you're going to want to get that, because this is the kind of teaching you're going to be getting with that planner. And we are going to be teaching you to plan different. It's going to change your life. And so I'll see you in one of those videos. Until next time, and remember our lives on Thursdays at noon Central Standard Time. This is Adas signing out. It's a wrap. Bye-bye.